Hello and welcome to episode 29 of Regular Features.
Is it episode 29 already?
My God, Reginald. I'm 1/3 of tonight's crew. I'm Steve Hogarty. I'm joined by John Blythe.
I am 1/3 of tonight's poo.
And also Matt Lees.
I'm the final slice of the pool triptych.
Segue this into Orinoco Flow and into the main credits.
Right, Matthew, what is the feature on the agenda?
The feature on today's agenda, let me just check the agenda. Oh, it's a corker. It is Matt definitively decides whether or not UFOs are real or not.
Whoa!
Yes.
It's about bloody time.
Well, that's it. It's about time somebody just put their hands on the table, slapped their knee enthusiastically and said yes or no.
Who was it, Danny Dyer, who did a show called I Believe in a UFO?
Yeah.
I do believe in UFOs, and that's going to inform everything I say on this show.
Thing is, right, it's probably little man up there.
They won't make it out, would they?
Yeah.
For those who don't know what UFOs are, it's unidentified flying objects.
Or if you're making a joke, an unidentified frying object, which is a pan.
Or a spatula.
Or a spatula.
No, you don't fry a spatula or a pan. The pan is a conduit for frying objects in it. In it, though.
In it. Well, it is, though, in it.
Well, fucking right it is. Jesus Christ, get it right.
Oh, my God,
So
I think
what
doing
would
an
a
impression of
frying
Danny Dyer.
object? What would a frying object be, Log?
Egg.
Egg. Okay.
That's the subject.
Slung from a pan so that the fat is still on it and hot and frying it.
I think that might have been a joke, actually. I'm worried, though, that when Log went in it, then I kind of feel like just doing a Danny Dyer impression might have somehow sunk into his
It's in
soul.
me marrow now, innit?
Oh, God.
It's
We have to
like-
put him down. I'm so sorry, Steve.
Start again. Kill me and start again, Mum.
It's like in
God,
Flight
I'll let
of
you
the
down.
Navigator when he absorbs the kid's brain, but he gets some of his sassiness.
When robots get sass.
They can't go back.
Oh, man. Imagine, like, The Fly, but with Danny Dyer and Log go into a machine and come out as one thing.
We've just come out bumming, mate. We've come out the same pod, bumming each other.
Yeah.
So-
The mist will dissipate. And so, what have they become? They're just bumming.
Oh, it's just in the smoke it looked... Oh,
Yeah.
no, they are just bumming.
The teleportation was a perfect success. They just got bored waiting for the door to open.
Oh, my dick's disappeared. Oh, it's all right. It's in Danny Dyer's anus. It's fine.
Success. Jeff Goldblum gets to go home. Anyway, what I've done is I've looked at the internet.
Was that the condition of his experiments? You can't go home, Jeff, until you've done this.
Well, I've never seen The Fly, but I get the impression that basically the reason it all goes wrong is because he's trying to get it right for so long that he ends up fucking it up and becoming into a fly thing. So I imagine if he got
the
it
reason
right...
it goes wrong is because there's a fly in the teleporter.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it was working apart from the fly.
But no, but isn't he testing on himself because other people won't do it?
he gets drunk and tests it on himself.
Ah, you see.
He has a
Okay.
baboon that gets turned inside out.
Well, he can't go home then.
Yeah.
Which is...
He can't put that back in.
Well, you think, put it through again, outside in again.
Yeah, but it'll be very wet.
So, unidentified flying objects.
Yeah, so basically UFOs, right?
Are they?
Are they, precisely? And I used to believe in them when I was younger, especially because I was a fucking idiot.
That's the thing everyone says about UFOs. They do exist, but what are they? Yeah.
It's not a hard criterion to set for existence. Just something you don't
All right,
know.
well,
Because
aliens.
the alternative is that
Aliens.
Aliens.
Nah.
That's what we're talking about.
Now you're moving the goalposts.
Come on, well,
Right.
we all knew. When
I thought I was
say
going to win
UFO,
this debate. This one's a bit more
We
difficult.
all know what I mean. But the thing is, it means aliens here, flying around, not just aliens somewhere. Because aliens are definitely somewhere. That's just bloody obvious. But are they
Is
actually
it?
here? Yes, it is.
I don't think it is.
Well, we'll get back to that one another time.
Okay.
I read a thing, or I heard a thing in someone saying that the reasons aliens haven't come here is because there's the same reason we'll never go out and find other aliens, because we'll wipe ourselves out before we get the chance. That's deep, isn't it? That's deep. And rather amusing.
I think that the reasons that aliens will never come here is the same reason that I've never been to Dorset. It's because it's just sort of quite far away.
There's not much to
And
do.
there's not much to do. Can't really be bothered. Because we've got loads of stuff to do here, so why should I go to Dorset?
Yeah.
You know? And I reckon that's, from their mentality, if they can do space travel and that...
Yeah, if they've invented spaceships,
Yeah.
just think what kind of PlayStations they have.
Precisely, you know, I mean, they've got all
They'd
sorts
be
of
up
good
to
stuff.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
They've got all sorts of good stuff to do. Why would you bother? Like, it's like, oh, I live in London. What are you going to do? I'm just going to go and sit on a hill on my own for a week. Why? I don't know. Just thought it'd be... Actually, you might get a kind of organic alien thing where they think it's really cool and hipster aliens who maybe come to Earth because it's so lo-fi, you know. Oh, they haven't even got warp travel. It's so fucking chilled out there. Maybe they
Yeah,
are
so I
already,
took the kids down to Earth. We set up a tent and we stayed there for the weekend just to get away from the family for a while.
Maybe rich people are all aliens.
all the hoverbots. It's nice not to be around all the hoverbots.
I mean, they're very useful, the hoverbots, but sometimes you want a day away from them.
Yes. I mean, holosex is very gratifying, but sometimes you just need a break from the relentless orgasms.
I'm so tired of these fictional whores.
Fictional horse. We've got fictional horse, Matt.
Yeah, but not
The one that's sucking me off right now.
Oh.
We've got them.
My God, she's a beast.
She's using her imaginary tea.
Oh! Yeah, I imagine that must be painful.
So have we proven it yet?
No, not yet. I thought we'd just keep going around in circles until I just make a decision. But I've got an example of a good aircraft spotting UFO job.
Is this true?
Well, I mean that's a very deep question. I mean, is it? I don't know.
It is.
Oh, right, okay.
Where did you get this account
I
from?
got this on the internet on a website called Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Well, yep. Sorry, basically, it's a story
Are
about
we doing pronunciation,
a man.
guide?
So
Wakapada.
if somebody could just press the mystery music button now, I'll begin. A pilot with a Class 4 instrument rating and 150 hours of flight experience, Valentich. I like he's called Valentich. It's a stupid name, isn't it?
Is 150 hours a lot? It doesn't sound like a lot.
No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I had 150 hours experience with, like,
World of
wanking,
Warcraft.
And I don't really... Yeah, basically World of Warcraft, yeah.
I've done 7 hours in Diablo 3 already.
It's only been out a day or two.
Yeah, some of that was maybe me hanging around on the menu screen, though.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Valentich filed a flight plan from Melbourne to King Island. Visibility was good and winds were light. Sounds like a recipe for disaster,
And
doesn't it?
scepticism was high.
All right, I'm going to skip some of the details here. Just flying a plane, going quite fast. Left in like early evening.
Is there going to be a twist? Was he the UFO?
He was a UFO all along. No, there isn't a twist.
Cut to an alien who doesn't know what he is. And
Basically.
goes back to his home planet and reports sighting of a UFO.
Yeah. And it was all a twist.
Who was the real monster?
But yeah, he's doing a little flight, just dinner time flight. And he should be there by about 7 o'clock. He's about 6 there at 7. But then something strange happened. And he tried to get some information, and he was told there was no known traffic at that level. Valentich said he could see a large unknown aircraft, which appeared to be illuminated by 4 bright landing lights. He was unable to confirm its type, but said it had passed about 1,000 feet, 300 meters, overhead, and was moving at high speed. Valentich then reported that the aircraft was approaching him from the east.
Why have you
and
started
the other
doing-
pilot might be toying with him.
Why have you started doing a crazy accent?
Because I had this sort of music in my head that goes...
But isn't he in Australia?
No, I can see this being
I'm doing a
illustrated
TV.
with really twitchy sort of footage.
Oh, okay.
Cut
Oh, so it's
across.
like the History Channel in
Yeah,
America.
yeah.
It's like one of these budget TV shows, people who believe anything.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, basically, he couldn't identify the aircraft, and he kept
It's
saying...
beginning to sound like a UFO to me.
He kept saying...
as long as it was flying, we're there.
Yeah, it was long, apparently. It was
Cigar-shaped.
Cigar-shaped.
it was long.
Oh, it's cigar.
It was travelling too fast for him to describe, and then apparently it was just hovering.
Too fast for him to describe.
It was
He needs to
orbiting
get a
above
fucking
him.
thesaurus.
Yeah,
Like, really,
speedy,
really, really fast.
rapid. That's a good one. Yeah, he was on-
Velocitus.
God,
Oh yeah, but it was on a plane. You can't do the right click. What words are similar
Yeah,
if you're on
it's
a
true.
plane? Well, you probably could now. Modern technology is amazing. But yeah, basically there was this thing floating above him. It was all like floaty and green and metallic. And then, he said he was having engine problems. And then there was a brief silence, and he said, "It's not hovering. He said, it is hovering and it's not an aircraft. And then it's followed by 17 seconds of unidentified noise, described as being metallic, scraping sounds. And then all contact
That sounds
was
like
lost.
a very well-identified noise.
Well, no, because basically, apparently, it was this weird noise with metallic scraping over top of it that was intermittent and followed no pattern. And that was the last. And they had loads of analysts listen to it and go, "What's that?" Nobody knows.
When did this happen?
I don't know, ages ago.
Oh, right, okay.
That's
As long as you're bringing news to our attention.
have a look
That's-
again.
That sort of gave me little goosebumps when he said the radio thing. That got me.
Nice.
That got my mystery sense properly tingled when he said. It was just the way he stopped and said, "I don't know what it is," and then the crazy radio shit happened.
And then 50 other people said, neither do we.
And needless to say,
Yeah,
Valentich, no one knows what it is.
needless
we've
to say,
never known. And then-
well, yeah, no one knows. Needless to say, wasn't seen again. Plane disappeared.
Have you ever seen
true?
the UFO?
Yep, no,
That bit's true.
Yeah,
What, Valentich's plane disappeared?
Valentich and his plane, he was supposed to be a short flight, disappeared. I've never been found. After there was that 17 seconds of weird noise and metallic scraping, never been seen, never been found.
Oh boy!
Yeah,
I'm
you
convinced.
see?
That's
See?
awesome. I like that.
No, I think it was he if he was flying over sea, I think it was probably more likely to have been either a squid or a Cthulhu.
Yeah. Well, actually, one of the early theories was that he could have been flying upside down, but apparently it wouldn't have been possible for that long for an aircraft that type to fly.
He was
upside
flying
down.
upside down and he saw a boat.
Yeah.
You see reflections on the water of his lights, and he'd say, "I can't tell what it is, but there's something, and it's moving really fast."
Oh.
But apparently, it's not. It wasn't possible for that model. Of
Was he
plane to fly
smoking a
upside
cigar?
down. I don't know. What's your theory?
He might have seen
His
the
own cigar.
and it was reflected in 4 windows, so the lit end of his cigar looked like 4 lights.
Because that thing where you close one eye and you can see your nose and you think, "Oh my god, it's a big pink UFO," or is that just me because I've got a really big nose?
Just go, "Oh, it's someone's nose. It's
There's a nose on my face."
Oh no, that's definitely true then, isn't it?
Well,
Have you ever seen a UFO yourself? You said you had?
no, I didn't say that.
I have.
Have you?
I was in Devon.
Actually, I might have seen something weird in the sky, but I can't remember. Maybe because I had my memory wiped.
That's right. The end of my story was it's in Devon. Thanks, Matt. Just being a cunt, it's all right.
Go on, continue, Log.
Well, I don't know if I want to tell you anymore. It's just a circle that flew straight up into the sky like magic. Not impressive or anything.
You know what it was? It was one of those. It was a Chinese lantern.
Oh. Thanks. Oh,
There you go. So
30 years of my life I've wasted hunting that down.
They get a lot of people. Those and weather balloons. Well, people are less willing to believe in weather balloons than they are in aliens. That's strange, isn't it? They say it's a weather balloon. Yeah, hardly. More like an alien. So,
Yeah, like weather balloons exist. What do? Carry clouds around and drop electricity out.
But what do you guys think about like Area 51? Do you think that's because actually I should mention? Actually, I forgot to mention it as well. This feature is actually another sponsorship. It's sponsored by Gavin. Can't be here tonight because he's gone to watch premiere of Men in Black 3. So this to coincide with the release of Men in Black 3, we've actually been sponsored by Will Smith.
Oh, well, not by the FBI.
No, by Will Smith. His dad gave me a copy of Wiki Wiki Wild West on DVD. But yeah, Area 51, is that a real? Do you reckon?
yeah, no, isn't it actually a real thing? It is a
I
place,
think-
isn't it?
Well,
What they got
I've
there,
seen
though?
that video of people driving up to it.
You're allowed to go in these days. I
Yeah,
think
they've
if
got a gift shop,
They've got a
visit
little
centre.
tourist centre, don't they?
Yeah,
you can just stroll around, look at the dead
aliens.
Do they actually have a visitor centre?
No,
Or
you're
is
not
it a
allowed
real
anywhere
military
near
base?
it. Basically,
It's like the most famous military base in the world.
yeah.
You think they just turn it into like a little theme park now?
They have a line basically where you're not allowed to drive past it. Where basically you get to a certain point and they stop you and say, basically you're not allowed to go any further. If you go any further, then they confiscate your vehicle and arrest you.
But if you get all the way inside, you can find the jetpack.
Yeah. Anyway, no. You get there's a little post box just before the line, so where people post letters to the aliens.
Oh, that's
Fucking
I know.
drippy cunts.
sweet.
Yeah, that was my thought. Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen TV shows about these people that go to a dune and they're convinced there's aliens up there and they stand together and they have what looks like a lovely night out standing on a dune. I think, I'm jealous of you because you've got this lovely night out, a lovely atmosphere, a lovely, great expanse of desert around you. The only thing wrong with you is you're cunts who believe in aliens. Why can't you just do that and just say it's nice?
Well, that's exactly how I feel about religion.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it's like hanging out in a nice big building.
Yeah.
Big
Hang
church
on.
building,
Lovely
with stained
place,
glass.
lovely community, really nice. People care about each other.
They've got
Why do we
booze.
have to have all this bollocks?
But not enough booze to go around.
Well, no, you'll have a sip. So I think that's what I'm trying to get at really here is, yes, UFOs do exist, but only because they're put there by God.
Okay, I'll have that.
As is everything. By my beliefs.
Praise him. Steve, praise him.
I'm doing it!
Okay! It didn't look like praise from here.
Oh, somebody tell me where my feature's gone, my regular feature.
Now it's time for Steve's regular feature. Steve got stuck in the tube doors. And it was very embarrassing.
You got stuck in the tube doors, or you got stuck in the Tudor period of England?
Was it all wooden and white?
I can see why you might think both of those.
Because you
things
are
could
wearing a
possibly-
magnificent ruff today.
I did have a rough. But that's got nothing to do with my feature. Yeah, so I was getting on the tube and the doors shut on me. I had a sense that the doors were about to close. I had my headphones on and I just went for it and the doors shut just pretty much halfway down my body.
You're miming down your sternum. Were you leaping in sideways?
I was strafing into the tube
It's
carriage.
a late entry. You can tell when you
And,
go sideways.
Yeah, I went for it, and my head was on the inside of the carriage, and my right leg and my right arm were still outside the carriage, and so was my bag. My bag was out there as well.
You want your bag inside.
And then everyone in the carriage turned to look at me because it was hilarious. This man, he's stuck, and the doors close very tightly, don't they? It's like,
So they shut and didn't open again immediately?
oh, they sort of locked in place.
Oh,
I was all like, oh, God, and I'm trying to get my fingers behind the door, and I'm pushing, and you have to get quite aggressive, and that makes you look even more ridiculous. So you're straining against these doors. So the doors do that thing where they open for a fraction of a second. They just sort of, they release and they shut again. So you can,
basically, it's like it's trying to chew you.
that's exactly what happened. So when they relented briefly for like a fraction of a second, I managed to pull myself in a little bit more, and then the doors weren't on my sternum anymore, but they had trapped my arm and my leg and my bag, and I was like a spider who like underneath a glass, where you know when you get the spider's legs trapped underneath the glass and they can't move either. I was basically that spider, and people continued to look. Some of them began to laugh.
That's
Well,
rude.
laughter is better than people looking at you like you're a cunt.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
Because at least then you can go, what?
Especially if you actually make a little like, oh God, this is embarrassing, isn't it? And they just glare.
I did try to play the clown a little bit, but then some of them started sort of laughing in a way I would describe as smirking or sneering. They were like,
So London.
Did you spark them out?
a man came down the on the platform and started trying to push me in.
Like a witch would a child into her oven.
Are you sure this wasn't a dream? This is beginning to sound like a dream.
It really happened. You know, I was covered in door filth afterwards because I think it's almost like they paint the inside of those doors in like ink so that you have to live with the shame, and they just wreck your clothes as well. It's like a deterrent for people trying to jump in.
Yeah,
at the
'cause
last
what else
minute.
would the inside of those doors pick up? They're only touching each other all day.
Yeah.
Dirt, though, just general dirt. Because I guess the problem with the tube is they do pick up dust and dirt and get filthy, but they do get cleaned, and maybe the edges of the doors, something they don't bother to clean.
Possible.
Because I get caught indoors, not that often, but I get caught quite
But regularly enough to mention.
I get caught in the doors quite a lot.
No, I get caught indoors for different reasons. Yesterday I got caught in the door, actually, for the first time in a while, and I was really annoyed because everyone was sort of scowling at me as if to go, Jesus, man, just wait for the next tube. And I think, yeah, well, fair enough, but it's because I was trying to dash in, and it was one of the single doors, one of the double doors, and I had time. I had plenty of fucking time to get in there, but I had some stupid little woman in front of me who was just sort of knew it was just shutting and was basically kind of thought, yeah, it's fine. I'll get in.
And I'm just going to stand right by the door.
And she just walked in really slowly and then stopped. And I basically, if she wasn't there, I literally would have done my standard gazelle leap through the door, be fine. But I was like, no, I'm getting on this. I'm not letting this stupid slow woman stop me.
When you do get in and the door's shut just behind you, you feel awesome. And everyone looks and goes, yeah, good
Moves.
fucking job.
I'm not making this up. I had a situation once where I was quite drunk on the tube, falling asleep, listening to music. And I was sitting in, those chairs you get that are facing each other rather than well, they're all facing each other, but the little side-on
the bays of the little...
Yeah, I was sort of trapped in the corner of one of them with 3 other people around me. It was quite tight. And I suddenly kind of woke up when I heard the beep sound starting. Beep, 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 get off, get off, get off. And I could see that it was my station. I need to get off now. And I just woke up immediately, leapt over the guy with amazing, what I imagine in my mind, it was like an
Also,
entrapment.
from his point of view, it would have been like looking down a suckling pig from the end, spinning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
No, I was thinking more like, in Catherine Zeta-Jones in Entrapment, sort of like acrobatics. And I did a little flip over a man and then leapt out the
you
door.
would think that. I think of a suckling pig. Your face looking towards me.
We've all got things we love, Log. But yeah, and I managed to leap out in a split second, boom, boom, to move. And actually, the guy who was opposite me, who I hadn't spoken to at all, literally, I just sort of managed to get out the door before it closed and was sort of stopped as it look on my face if to go, I can't believe I just managed to do that. And I looked back into the tube and there were lots of people looking at me to go, I can't believe you just managed to do that. And one guy just went, thumbs up, and smiled. And I was just like, yeah. And for about 10 minutes, I felt like a king.
For about 10 minutes, you marched up and down the platform, expecting everyone on the next trains to understand.
Yeah,
I wanted everyone to give me a high five.
One of those amazing stories that you hear absolute bullshitters say about the time they stood up to the person on the plane and they turned around and people were clapping because everyone thinks what I said that day, and I'm the only one with the balls and the panache to pull it off.
Well, I'm the only one with the legs to jump that far that quickly.
What happened to me with that one was, I was in the queue for a plane, and the man in front of me turned around and decided to talk to me, and he said, yes, you do know that they do have tomato juice on these planes, though, because they say they don't, but I know they keep a stock on them. And once this woman said I couldn't have a Bloody Mary, and I said, I know what you keep in your stocks, woman. I'm not going to put up with this. And when I turned around, they were all clapping me. It was amazing. His image of himself as a consumer rights hero, instead of an officious cunt who wants a drink.
And stands up and goes, who wants a Bloody Mary? And everyone throws their hats into the air and goes, oh!
I got one of those glass visas. You don't know they exist, do you? But there are glass ones. You can use them in midair.
Can you get glass visas?
It's the kind of believable lie.
Oh. Well, no one was applauding me on the tube carriage. And a man was just trying to push me in, and more precisely push my bag in.
Yeah, well, that makes more sense.
Because he saw I was in distress. The doors, yet again, they opened and shut quickly. And I thought, phew, I'm in. But I wasn't. The little flap of my bag had gotten stuck in the door. And then, the doors had closed just enough that the train was ready to go. And I had to stand next to the door with my bag sort of just stuck in it and a little flap coming out of it. And then the tube announcer man, the driver, said on the PA system, to the man who just got stuck in the doors, I hope you're feeling very happy about delaying everyone's journeys.
Wow.
And the tube carriage, in perfect unison, they started laughing at me. One woman pointed at me and laughed.
So that's you. He's talking to you, Steve.
About him.
And I know because I saw it happen.
And it really felt that everyone there were people, strangers turning to each other and sharing a little joke about me, and everyone sort of grew closer together.
Except
and I was
you.
I was so not their friend. And that was, I thought I should get off at the next station. This is too much.
But then you would have said, yeah, I only wanted to go once up anyway. Fuck you.
Yeah. And they get stuck on the way out as well. I've never seen
just
that.
Lying. Just
oh no, I'm stuck.
But I thought, no, I'm going to show them. I'm going to go all the way to the stop I want to go to. And they all sort of just got off at their own stops and they didn't really pay attention to me very much. But
Wow, what
and
an
then when,
ending.
when I got home, I realised I had a huge black mark down my face from where the door had hit it. It was horrible.
That's probably why they were laughing in retrospect.
yeah.
It makes it better.
Yeah, because I had this big black mark on my face.
Oh, but in retrospect, though, don't you think? Because I've always had situations like that where you just kind of sit back and suffer in silence, when, despite the fact you think, no, don't be mean. I'm just a human trying to get somewhere, and I've fucked up slightly.
You should say that out loud. That's exactly what a bully would love to hear. Don't pick on me. I'm just a human.
Yeah, but I don't.
But in retrospect, do you know, if you could go
I didn't
back
know
and
who
just
to
turn and
say it
shout
to.
to them, just as a group, what would
I'd
you
have
say?
I'd have to shout to the entire carriage.
But, what,
and that's
but yeah, you can say that you'd like to see that in retrospect because you can't, so you can say whatever you want. What would you say?
I would have said, "Stop being mean.
You're all meanies.
You're all really mean."
Neither me or Steve know how to deal with bullies, basically. What would you say then, Long?
Yeah, meant to do it, actually. That's what they're all doing. Why aren't you doing it? What's wrong with you?
That's pro. That is pro bully avoidance.
Also, have you ever been on a tube carriage when something happened to bring everyone together? A bit like you being a
Oh
cunt.
yeah, no, there
Hopeless
was
cunt.
one time when we all laughed at someone who got stuck in the door. It was excellent. I made a friend.
Everybody high-fived and exchanged numbers.
Because I was on one once where some bloke came in and was being slightly Larry, just Larry enough for you to think, oh, hello, what a cockend. But eventually he said, oh, it's my girlfriend's birthday and we haven't been going out for long, but I think she's ace. Can everyone just sing her happy birthday, please? And he started, and by the end of the song, everyone was singing. And I stood up and I applauded him. No, the applause that did happen because that's what you do at the end of that song. But yeah, that was nice, and we all settled into nicely chatting to each other after that.
See, that's lovely, and actually, that's what I like about London Underground, is you have this sense of distrust and mislike, but actually all it takes is one person to just break the ice. I used to try and
You
get
say
into a habit.
distrust and mislike.
Yep.
Well, nice one. I like it.
Yeah, well... But yeah,
Constantly reinventing the words you say.
I am. That's what I'm known for.
You
Otherwise,
said intolerant earlier.
Yeah.
I did. What can I say? I'm like a genius.
You're Ralph Wiggum, basically.
Yeah, I think you might be right. But yeah, I like the way that things just, if you just break the ice, I used to try and get into a habit of talking strangers on the tube, because you realise actually...
One of them.
Well,
That's
no,
what you are.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, this was on a single, and if you end up sitting next to a hot girl and have that kind of thing of being like, you sort of think, hey, fuck it, just talk to them. And,
Hey, London's so unfriendly, isn't it? Why can't I fuck you?
no, you just say, what I used to say is I just say, how's your day? How's your day been? And then if they go, oh, fine, actually, then you just leave them alone. But otherwise, sometimes people go, yeah, not bad, actually. And then, hey, you just start talking to someone. It's all good. But I remember my favourite tube journey was just after they banned booze. And there was a couple of girls sitting next to me who were drinking wine, a white wine out of a Tesco's bag. And I was just looking at them, and they clearly thought I was looking at them as if to say, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing that. And then after about 10 minutes, I was like, can I have a bit? And they were like, oh, yeah, sure. And I was just deeply jealous of them, because I was on my way out, and I missed drinking on a tube. It was awesome. It'd be like, you could, if you lived out in Zone 3 or whatever, you could get tanked up on the way in.
You can still do it.
Well, no,
It's
I
not
know.
like they-
You just put it in Tropicana. All orange juice.
I once was on my way into London of an evening, and it was in the summer of last year, and it was very, very warm indeed.
Were you on the way to one of Mrs. Havisham's shindigs?
It was the summer of '69.
But it was a very busy tube train, and I was going to party, and I had some booze in my bag, and the train had stopped in a tunnel, and it was sweltering, and I got out a very cold bottle of beer and started drinking it in the middle of the aisle, and people were looking at me with so much jealousy in their eyes. It was amazing. I was like, yeah.
Did you share them?
Did you take your top off and mop your forehead with it?
I was like, "Wow." I just rubbed the bottle against my forehead and go, oh, it's so refreshing.
Did you pull the front of your trousers outwards and just tip half the bottle into your cock area?
So that was a lovely...
Otherwise,
that
that'd be
was
like
me being a dick on the tube.
a Bud Light advert or something. Some guy's like, hey, everyone, have a beer. And then everyone takes their clothes
There was also a time when I was playing Mario Kart on the tube, and a man sat down next to me and said, "Oh, I've got that game. Do you want to have a race?" And then we had a
that's
had a Mario
fucking
Kart
great.
race.
That's awesome.
And then I was also the time when I bought Pokemon Black, and I was sitting, and there were a group of youths behind me, and I thought, they look a bit rough. I don't know.
Oh man, he got Tepig! Get Tepig off him!
That's literally what he turned around and said. So, man, did you get a Tepig? Yeah, turned around. And he'd been playing more than me. It's like he evolves into Embor, mate. Look at this. And we're like, that's awesome. It's like, I know he evolves into Embor, but I'm going to play along.
I've forgotten what the ultimate form is. It Embor is the final version, or is
Embor's
it
the final
Volcani Sao
version.
or something like
Because Tepig, I don't know what the middle one is anymore.
that? Hot.
Hot swine.
Hot swine.
It's quite a big theme for roasting pork tonight. But yeah, the only time I've been on the other side of that actually, when I think one journey in my mind.
Where you've asked someone else about their Tepig?
Yeah. Well, so I was looking over someone's shoulder when they were playing on a DS, and I was like, I think he's playing Final Fantasy Tactics. That's a very good game. I like that game. And in my mind, I was just sitting next to a guy, peering over, going, "Oh, that's a very good game," and nudged him and said, "That's a great game, great game."
Good choice.
But, however, the problem was I was fucking battered, and my mate informed me afterwards. He was going, "Mate, just leave him alone." I was essentially me, just very carefully peering over his shoulder to my right. I basically almost had my head on his shoulder, apparently. It was a very small Chinese boy who seemed quite frightened.
He's going, it's a game.
Yeah, it's good. I like that one. How you doing? Yeah, all right. I like Final. Yeah. And
I saw someone on the tube once reading the TV Go Home book, and I told them to look at the page with me on it.
Oh, what?
I said, "Look, that's me, that is." And then I was drunk, obviously. It was,
Okay,
it was an
that's
early
fair
time. And I said, "That's me." Oh, cool. And then if you look at the main bit, I'm in the writing credits as well. Of course, this is from a time in my life when anything seemed possible. And that,
It will happen to you.
if you tell me now that in 6 or 7 years' time I'll be writing about video games for a living, I'll tell you to fuck off. There's no logical reason why that would happen.
I once, on a train, there was a child reading Official Nintendo magazine, and I deliberately walked past him 4 times, hoping that he would notice me
as
and
if
go,
they look at our faces.
yeah. Oh, they just don't care, do they?
No.
I think that's the end of my feature.
Bienvenido a las características regulares.
And now it's time for my regular feature. Oh, the banjos I have snapped.
Oh, I think I might know what this one's about.
Well, I think I've mentioned once before
Yeah.
that I have snapped my own banjo string whilst having an experimental wank as a teenager. As in, like, it was the days before the internet, so I had all my sort of images that I'd snipped out of catalogues and Pritt sticked
You
to
had
sheets of
the-
A4.
At the portfolio.
My wanking portfolio,
Yeah, my works.
which I take into jobs interviews to this day.
Just out of a sense of routine. And of course, here's my wanking portfolio.
So you can get the measure of me.
It's like a mood war.
The mood is having a wank. So yeah, but I've told you that I had a very tight foreskin as a child that led me to develop several non-specific urethritis.
Don't
you
assume
mention
too
that.
much on
Yeah.
the reader's part.
Yeah, they might not have been here. in the
No,
early
they've got
days.
to. Yeah, these people have got to know about my dick and the several shades of cheese that it
We do like,
produced.
we do like a PDF fact sheet just to kind of get people up to
With diagrams,
speed.
yes, like one of those emergency
Shades.
procedures in airplanes.
Shades
Previously
of
on
cheese.
regular feature.
What?
The whole foreskin thing. I remember my mum asking me about that at one point. I think when I was quite young, she said, "Oh, is your foreskin tight or something?" I think it came out of a genuine it was probably looking at my parents in retrospect as people.
She probably had a look when you were asleep. one
No,
night
it was
and
probably
go,
that somebody.
I'll ask them about that in the morning.
I'll give them ask. Have a look.
It casts a very big shadow with this torch. I can't tell if it's baggy or I've just got it from a wrong angle.
Put the torch right inside it. No,
Oh, my mate used to have his mum. If we ever get a guest, I'd love it to be my friend Daniel, whose mum used to shine torches up his arsehole and pull worms out. According to him.
Whoa!
Is
he funny, or is that just
no?
his
He
thing?
tells these
Is that
stories
his
as though
thing?
they are funny. It just seems like he was brought up in Perth,
Oh, right.
Australia,
Oh.
and that's one story. Another story is where him and his brother used to come out of the bath and they'd put towels between their buttocks and then parade, apart from the towels between their buttocks, naked in front of their family and any visitors, saying that they were peacocks. But the game was ruined one day when he put it too far up his bumhole. It came out brown and his brother snitched him up to everyone in the room.
A lot of arsehole-related stories.
It's the peacock game.
That reminds me of when I used to share a bath with my brother, who's not much older than me. And one time I did a shit in the bath. And it chased my brother around the bathtub until he jumped out. And then I jumped out. And then my parents came in and my dad had to fish him out with a flower pot.
I didn't even know you had a brother.
Not only that, but I almost shat on him.
Stories that are coming out now.
I was just young enough that, an entire poo can just come out.
You had to slide out unbroken and bob to the surface.
Yeah. Just a sense of panic in my...
Just look at your faces as you watched it float around. And then just each trying to splash it towards the other one. But both of you splashing increasingly frantically turned it all into a froth and no one knew where the shit was anymore.
Then it becomes like Jaws.
It's like it was boiling.
I was so young that I think I was just nonplussed. And I mean, I wasn't bothered about it. That's
Nonplussed, that's a great emotion to have that shit. I imagine your brother was crestfallen about it.
But of course I had a vivid memory of standing next to the bathtub and my dad just with a flower pot in his hand, just trying to catch it. It was an elusive.
I imagine
Wily Bob.
Trying to catch a shit in a flower pot must be like a bit like trying to catch a bit of eggshell in a teaspoon when you're making an omelette.
Yeah, it was very much like that.
I've never tried it, but that's what my imagination is saying. Yes, Matt, that's what it's like.
Yeah, well, it took me a while to imagine it, but it worked when I did.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad. try it yourself. So anyway, you're going to talk about something really horrible.
So anyway, I had a wank, and my first ever drawskin pulled back wank, and at the moment of ejaculation, I felt a kind of that was actually my skin of my banjo popping because I wasn't used to the.
Oh, Jesus, I mean,
I came because it was
bled,
a kind of
conquered.
celebration. I'd done it in the lounge while my parents were out.
Oh,
because
no.
there's more room. And I kind of bled on the carpet
and you
that.
do need room.
Yeah, you do when you're doing pulling off some of the more advanced moves.
clear some space.
Did you have a sheet down?
The sheet was my wank portfolio, really.
Oh, straight onto it.
It
Amateur.
was laminated. Fuck you! Call me an amateur wanker. I'll lie about laminating my porn.
All right. I was going to say that's very professional for someone.
Oh, so that is the base. That's I know that it's possible to do that. So I should have been wiser when I was going out with. I won't say his name, but I went out with the guy for 4 years, and the one thing that might be called dysfunctional about our sexual relationship was that he didn't ejaculate once in the 4 years that we went out together in my presence.
Right.
Which I don't know how it didn't
Come up in conversation.
more often. Well, you go through that phrase at the beginning of a relationship. You'll say things like, "Do you want to do something about that?" And he'll say, "No, it's all right. I enjoy just." And I was like, "That's fine, as long as you don't mind me coming somehow from this."
Yes.
And it came,
that is weird.
and it came from the fact, I think, that he used sex by humping the mattress rather than. So when I tried to either sort of wank him off or that, it wouldn't be the things that his body recognised as, okay, time to
Well,
do
that's
it.
true.
You could meet him halfway and let him frot against the most mattress-like part of your body. Which...
I am a living mattress, Steve.
That's true. This is his last
Well, then
shot.
I don't know what's wrong.
Yes, he might have just desensitised it massively. I suppose you fuck
What do you
things
think?
like mattresses, then yeah, You will desensitize. It's like Gav, referencing back to some other cock chat from last week or whatever, but I remember Gav was talking about the fact that, he said trying to wash his knob under the shower, he found it too much. It's because when you're young, this is, if any woman listening, this will be fascinating, but when you're young, your bell end gets very sensitive, but then as you get older, it becomes more kind of like, I don't care, I can deal with this stuff.
I could fuck the hole in a brick.
Yeah. But I guess if you spend a lot
I've
of your
never
life...
heard that phrase. It's really
No,
nice.
I've never
I
heard
think
of it either.
made it. But yeah, maybe just, oversensitive.
No, I think it was desensitized.
Yeah, that's what I mean, desensitized, yeah.
So,
It's weird, though.
For this to be a feature, it needs to be more than one banjo being snapped.
yes. I mean, we need to get to the stage where we thought maybe it'd be fun to try out. And this is why it was a fun relationship in ways. We decided to go out and sort of take drugs and sort of have a night out dancing and enjoy it when we get back. And it was fun. When you say drugs, that's like walking into a pub saying, yes, I had a pint. Can I have a pint of beer, please? No, we took ecstasy pills. I know their names.
I thought you were going to say, can I have a pint of drugs, please?
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean.
I'm not just trying to sound cool by saying I took a drug. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
One of the
as
pill
well as
ones.
street.
Yeah.
A drug pill.
A drug pill. And it was administered it orally.
Because I've not actually done it on the drugs. But I hear that you do just keep going forever.
Well, you go. There's two things that will stop it. One, forever, and two, this other thing that's going to happen. In this story.
Gratuitous.
I've worked out in
bodily
your
harm.
story it doesn't go on forever.
Well, the two things. The reason I told you about him not ejaculating wasn't just saying, "Well, he's a fucking why can't you come?" But if you are listening, why couldn't you?
Write us a letter.
Oh God, I'm not going to put this on Facebook because he is my friend on Facebook. I know he's ace. See ya. So where was I? So
Probably about to snap your banjo string again. I don't understand the concept of doing it repeatedly. Does it just grow back?
there's a little star that's there. It's not particularly noteworthy. No one would see it and go, but I know that's what that
It's
little
not
thing
like
is about.
it's not like the Joker's face. But go on. So you're off your face on drugs and you're deciding to do some crazy sex with your boyfriend.
Because of the drugs, I was enjoying the fact I had my eyes closed and just enjoying the sensuality
'cause it's
of
heightened
my
sense of
body. Yeah, who needs sight? I'll just close my eyes and I'll frantically wank him off while he thrusts around in opposite directions. God knows what's actually happening. And
Doesn't
do
really
you know
matter when
what?
you're on ecstasy. Just being touched by things is nice.
The way I rationalised it was, oh my God, it worked. He's come. And my God, he's come a fucking shitload. It's everywhere.
what
I can
gave you
feel
that
it all over me.
sensation?
It's hot as fuck. Lovely. I'm just going to keep wanking this baby off.
Oh God! He should have stopped by now. 2 minutes later.
I think that's the time when I opened my eyes too, with a bored look on my face, checking my watch. No, I think I was more alerted to open my eyes by him going, shit. And, you have never seen a chest so bloody outside of a Game of Thrones.
Jesus, I'm confused. Was it yours or his?
I was wanking him off with the reckless abandon of a man who's on the drug.
So
and he was
basically-
thrusting hither and yon with a similar disregard.
But no, but
His own physical safety.
that must mean that it's like a curse, and you had it, and you passed it on to him, and now he's done it to somebody else.
Well, the only
I
thing in
think-
common is my
Matt.
right hand. I have got a haunted right hand that just snaps them banjos
keep it away from me, sir.
at a rate of 1 every 18 years.
Are you overdue?
Yeah, it's like the next volcano.
Or when you said, "Are you overdue?" I was going to say he wasn't a Jew.
Always on your mind, isn't
always
it?
on.
Although I guess maybe they would have fewer troubles with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's why my mum asked me about it, is because I think it must have been that one of my mum's friends' sons had been, I was just say castrated. I don't think there's a lot of that in Guildford. What's it called? Circumcised. And so maybe she thought, oh, maybe I should check. But yeah, I can't imagine being circumcised. It'd be really weird.
Can you imagine having a vagina?
No.
You've got a real lack of genital imagination.
Yeah.
That's what my
Can't you
career
imagine-
advisor
Can
said.
you imagine lifting up your balls and there's a nice little vag down there?
Sort of. I'm trying.
I want, now you're doing the splits and your vag and your arsehole split open and form one massive hole that can
You know
take
what?
6 dicks.
If
Can you imagine that?
If we put some kind of
Can you
like
imagine
sound of
starting
like
a career?
waves, we put sound of waves crashing over top of this, because this could be like a relaxation tape.
And now imagine.
This is real catharsis for me. My deepest fancy of having a 6-dick hole.
You're riding a horse.
With 6 dicks.
And suddenly, you're still on the horse, but your feet are now touching the ground. You've managed to work yourself entirely around the horse's torso. This is some Japanese.
Are there any more? I'm quite pleased at how well I've dealt with that, because I obviously,
Yeah, I think
Spoiler.
I could have told it with a bit more tension, but the interruptions made me lose my place, and I'm not
there's
a
no
good
tension
storyteller
anymore, is there?
No, not that. It's just loose. It's my distended penis.
how do you
Someone
deal
who
with
has
it?
an understanding of the anatomy of a penis, the banjo string feels like it's keeping the bell end in check.
Yeah,
It's keeping it in place. If you snap the banjo string, can your bell end just wander off?
no.
Can it detach and work its way back
Is
up
it
to your belly
screw top?
button?
Well, that's the thing. Once that's gone, you can screw it off. Yes.
So basically, it's like getting a cat gun and like sort of taking the little orange bit off the end to make it look realist. Like you can like jury rig your own, so you can adjust it and get a different bell end to screw on and customise.
Matt, I'm going to have to rewind you 10 seconds.
Don't bother, because
I
I
like-
can rewind myself 10 seconds and even I won't know what I was
Imagine about
doing that.
Screwing on different things. Like, what would you put on, like chess pieces?
Why not? You do it with fake hands.
Having a hook instead of a bell.
Well, I wouldn't recommend that, obviously. Oh, God. But, you know, you get the general idea.
Anyway, that's one of the most disgusting stories I've ever heard.
I dealt with that
I
well,
don't know.
though.
It's just
What did you do
it wasn't-
immediately afterwards?
Well, I kind of made apologetic sounds and followed him into the toilet while he rinsed himself.
Did you go, it's more important that I rinse myself?
Well, no,
first?
I was going, are you all right? Are you all right?
Was he angry at you?
It was more and more of a concern for his own penis.
Right.
And he, to be all power to him, he never once said, "Why did you wank my dick to that point?" I think we both understood the situation,
Okay.
and that's my story about the banjos I have snapped.
Oh, regular features.
Well, I've enjoyed episode 29. Stay tuned for episode 30, which I'm sure will be an extravaganza.
Wow.
Well, we all knew it could never be as good as episode 28. But that's
Downhill from here.
fucking statistics, isn't it? It's regression to the mean. So fuck you. I think that's probably a good place to
Yeah, it is.